The call came while I was standing in an empty room that no longer belonged to me. The walls were bare. The floors clean in that way only defeat makes possible. I hadn't taken the tools yet. I wanted one last look at what I had built with my hands before strangers walked through it with their shoes on. My phone vibrated. A single message. I own it now. No name, no signature. He didn't need one. I pictured his face without seeing it. The permanent smirk. The satisfaction he mistook for victory. When I turned around, he was already there, leaning in the doorway like rot pretending to be wood. "This is my revenge," he said. Not loud, not angry, enjoying it. I nodded. That was my mistake in his eyes. Silence. He always thought silence meant weakness. I walked past him. Left the keys on the counter. Outside, the air felt thinner, like the world had decided I was lighter now, easier to discard. I drove away with nothing, but the sound of my own breathing and a thought that refused to leave me. They think this is over. The foreclosure was just the headline. The real story had started years earlier. In quiet rooms and shared glances that stopped when I entered, my ex-wife learned deception from her father. Or maybe he learned it from her. Blood tells its own stories. She'd grown distant long before the papers arrived. Not cruel. Worse, careful. Every conversation measured. Every answer trimmed. I replayed memories like security footage. Her phone always face down. Late dinners that smelled like someone else's cologne. Her father suddenly interested in my finances. He asked questions disguised as concern. "How's the mortgage?" "Rates are brutal these days. Family should protect family." I believed him. That was my second mistake. The house didn't fail because of money. It failed because trust is a structural beam, and mine had already been sawed through. By the time the bank called, the deal was done. He bought it in cash, quick, clean, a message sent through lawyers. He wanted me to know. What hurt wasn't the loss. It was the coordination. Father and daughter, smiling at dinner, planning quietly. I realized something cold then. I had never been part of the family. I was an asset. I didn't confront anyone. I never do. I observe. I pulled phone records. Not hers, his. Late-night calls. Too frequent, too long. I watched their body language the next time we met. The way she looked at him before answering a question. The way he finished her sentences. I ran numbers for months. Shell companies. Property transfers. Small legal movements that told a larger story. They weren't just pushing me out. They were positioning themselves on me. I smiled when required. Nodded at holidays. Let them believe the foreclosure broke me. Inside, something precise was forming. I cataloged every repair I had done to that house. Every custom joint. Every concealed reinforcement. He didn't buy a house. He bought a machine he didn't understand. And I was the only one who knew how it truly worked. The truth arrived quietly, like it always does. A mutual friend slipped. One sentence too many after a drink. "They planned it together," he said, then froze. I didn't react. Just thanked him. Later that night, I laid the documents out on a hotel desk. Call logs, timelines, contracts. I called my ex-wife. "Did you know?" I asked. Silence. Too long. I didn't raise my voice, didn't accuse. "I already know," I said. Her breath caught. That was all the confirmation I needed. I handed her father the final report a week later when he came to inspect. His house. He skimmed it, laughed. Until he reached the last page. The engineering summary. The parts I never filed. The modifications that only I could maintain. The smirk collapsed. "You sabotaged it?" he whispered. I shook my head. "No," I said. "I perfected it." Thanksgiving came fast. I didn't attend. Instead, my phone rang. My ex-wife's new daughter-in-law was screaming. "If you want to join Thanksgiving," she shouted over the speaker, "come wash the dishes." I smiled. "Enjoy," I said and ended the call. Hours later, photos began circulating. My villa in Switzerland. Glass walls. Snow-draped silence. A life they hadn't imagined. My phone rang. Once, twice, 71 times. Missed calls, voicemails, apologies dressed as curiosity. He'd discovered the truth. The house needed work only I could do. Systems failing, repairs stacking, costs bleeding him dry. His revenge had turned into a liability. Too late. I stood on my balcony that night, watching the Alps erase the horizon. No anger, no triumph, just distance. They thought they had crushed me. What they crushed was their access. I didn't answer the phone. I never will. Some people mistake silence for surrender. They never learn. I didn't lose my house. I shed a parasite. And I've never lived lighter.